Hello, everybody. Welcome to Echo Underground. I'm Shanique.
This is Mike.
And on this podcast, we talk about music, movies, TV shows, and whatever the hell else.
Whatever else we found interesting at the moment, sure.
True. All right. So, guys, before I get into this podcast, please tweet at us at EchoU Podcast. Share us. Let people know that we exist. So we can get the word out. Also, we want to know your suggestions about anything that you think we should take a listen to or watch. We're open for suggestions. So let's get into this. Today's podcast is going to be about the album by K. Michelle called Kimberly, The People I Used to Know. Now, before, I know this is old, but it came out late of the end of 2017, so we're going to do it for the 2018 podcast. And it will be in the running for our top 5 at the end of the year. So let's start. What did I grade this album? I'm gonna give this album a B+. There's a couple little things stopping it from being an A for me, but overall, I gotta say, one, her voice is amazing. I didn't know she could rap, so I was like, what? She had like a better flow than a lot of these rap dudes out right now, and I did like her interludes. Even the one that wasn't a song, which we're not really going to talk about, but I like what she had to say.
A little poem kind of thing going on.
Yeah, but she talked about, the truth hurts, and if you're offended by this, then, well, hey, deal with it. I like that she was totally herself, and it was this album was a little bit like a journey. A little sus journey sometimes, but a journey. And it was a really fun album. It had ballads, it had upbeat, it had middle. It was really good. Certain songs didn't really blow me away, but overall, I really thought it was a strong album. And I say it's a good R&B album. Take a listen to it. What is your verdict, Michael?
I kind of have a similar feeling about this album. Like, I think it's a good showing for K. Michelle, considering I don't know much about her in the first place. Like, I've always heard her name, but I've never actually dug into her music. And when I saw the lineup for this album here, I was like, okay, it looks pretty good so far. Good runtime, good amount of content, good features here and there. Not plentiful, obviously, but the one that she does have work. And what I liked about this album too is there's a good mix of her singing, like Shanice said, and a good mix of her definitely just diving head first into hip hop and doing a damn good job at it. So I was like, okay, you're covering 2 pretty big bases for yourself, and that's actually pretty impressive. So, that being said, this is a great first impression for me for K. Michelle. And I don't know, I'm pretty impressed. I am going to go ahead and give this album a B, though, for the same reason that Shanique gave it a B+. Like, a lot of the things here, we're just kind of hit just above the benchmark for what a good album is, but doesn't really, push it to that next level where it's like an A for me. But I can definitely see it happening in the future. I can definitely see her being a good feature. I can definitely see her coming out with some more good music as well. So it's like, you know what? This is not a bad grade by any stretch of the imagination here.
All right. So let's get into our top 3. Number 3 for me is Takes 2 featuring Jeremiah. Now, pre-warning, I am normally not a Jeremiah fan. I think he sucks with his voice. But he sounded actually good on this record. I like the start of it. It was a mix of old school and new school R&B, so I really enjoyed that. Jeremiah didn't ruin the song, so that's already a plus, because I didn't know that was possible. Little shady. It was catchy. They worked together. Now, there is some sus lyrics in here.
On the album, especially. I don't know. I can't remember. Is this the one where she talks about bringing her friend along? Yes, it is. It's the same one.
Now, ladies, I don't know about you or men. We don't bring our friend along to help please our significant others. I'm not that person. But if K. Michelle is, hey, I guess it really does take 2. That's all I got to say. But it was a fun song. There was some lyrics that made me pause, but it didn't really distract me from enjoying the song. So it was definitely, in my opinion, worthy of a number 3. What do you think of Takes 2? Unless it's in your top 3. Let me go.
No, it's not my top 3, but it's definitely, I will say, eye-catching. Well, ear-catching, more like it. Because I was listening to this song in peace. I was just going through the album, and like early in the album, we already start to get like a taste of what her content's going to be like. And then, and this isn't even the worst one for. We're going to talk about it later. But the worst one for me is anyway, where like the lyrics just got like out of this world. But I thought it was a very ear catching song because of the actual content in it, by like bringing your friends over, or whatever. I guess it makes good music somehow. I don't know, but I actually didn't mind the performance of both of them. Like I know Shanique, doesn't like feel too positive about Jeremiah's voice, but I'm like, he sounds good to me. I don't mind.
I heard him live. Nah, bruh.
I mean, I don't hate it, and I definitely didn't hate it with K Michelle as well. I feel like both of them did good enough for me. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say like 'cause I don't know. To me, I still like hearing K Michelle's part a little better. But then again, she also had the part where she talked about bringing a third person into the mix or something else, and I was like,
she's like, "While I'm gone, my friend got this right quick."
Right, and I'm like, sure, yeah, I guess it's kind of this scissor thing going on, where it's like you're talking about some kind of weird, what should I say, consensual infidelity, I guess. I don't know.
No, it wasn't like it's kind of weird because like it was like she was negotiating with the woman to be the side chick.
Yeah.
This is a different song. It's not a negotiation.
I mean,
she's
yeah,
like, friend, you got this, right?
This is the conversation already happened, and they already know the dynamic that's going on here. But yeah, you know what? Takes Two is alright. I actually didn't mind. It's definitely ear catching because like it's got stuck in my head for a while because of how like shocking it was. So if it was going for shock factor, it achieved that. So yeah.
All right, what's your number 3?
My number 3 will actually go to one of the things in the last. Let me just put it this way: the last half of this album is essentially majority like K Michelle's singing potential, where she shows it off very well. And my number 3 actually goes to Heaven. Now, Heaven was a pretty good song for me. I think of all the ones that she was singing, this one got stuck with me the most. I could actually go through a lot more of her like more ballad type songs too, more than once, and still enjoy it. But for some reason, I don't know. I came back to this song in secret to listen to it again, and I'm like, I guess you're in my top 3 now because I kind of like the shit. I do like the rest of them though. Like it beat out all the other ones by like just a little bit, except for my top 2, obviously. But yeah, I liked Heaven. How about you, Shanique?
Heaven was a good track. That was one of the songs that like showed that she could really sing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The high notes she hits in the songs were crazy. And while it's not my like favorite of the album, for her voice alone, I agree with it being in your top 3. It's a very good song. If you didn't think she could sing, that was one of the songs that would tell you, hey, this girl actually has real vocals.
Mm.
All right, number 2 for me is Make This Song Cry.
Hey, I think. Hold on, let me see. Do I have my number 2? I think that is my number 2.
Hey,
that is my number 2. Yep.
Okay, we have the same number 2. Cool. Now, admittedly, I thought of Jay-Z, but I'm supposed to because the beat is from the song.
Mm-hmm.
So
not like one for one, but
no, it's not one for one.
Influential, very yeah.
Yeah, you could tell it's from like it has the same type of feel. It sounds like it. Like if you just heard the instrumental, you would think of the song.
Mm-hmm.
Her voice sounded really good. She sings her heart out, and even though you can hear the auto-tune, it's not distracting. And it's catchy as hell, and the background singers are doing their thing.
Mm-hmm.
What do you got to say about it?
I liked Make This what's the name? Jay-Z's version of the song. What's it called again?
Make the Song Cry.
Make the Song Cry. No, just all right. Okay,
I can't make the song cry.
No, okay. I'm sorry. It was just Song Cry.
Song Cry, yes.
Right. I knew it went by something else, but like, yeah, it's essentially Made the Song Cry. I like that one a lot. What Jay-Z did with it, and I think he'd be pretty impressed with what K Michelle had done with it because she did pretty good. I think this is one of the first areas on the album too where like you saw her singing get showed off because like we went from like 1 to I believe like 20 I believe it was.
Mm-hmm.
So like we started there and like this is my first time where I got convinced that because like the first 2 songs in the album were just pretty much her rapping, where I got convinced that okay, all right, I don't know too much about this K Michelle person, but she's not only about the bars or like doing a little sing rap here and there, but she's pretty good at the singing itself. It's definitely kind of a vulnerable song because Jay-Z kind of made himself look vulnerable on his, so I guess she kind of followed suit. And I think she did a very good job with that as well. And you know what? I think granted, she got a lot of influence from Jay-Z. I think she did very good with what she had, and it's a pretty good nod to him. Like I just like both versions now. Everyone who's used it so far, well, that I know of, which is K Michelle and Jay Z, have done a pretty good job. So I'm okay with that.
Yeah, and I like it because like in the song she's basically saying I'm gonna make the song cry because I can't let this nigga see me cry, and I'm like, but the way she sing it, you like, yeah, girl, I feel you on it. It's probably one of the best singing she did, even though not the top. It's really in there. All right, guess my number one, Mr. Brown.
Alert.
No.
Which is it?
God loves sex and drugs.
Ah, that's interesting. I was right. I just missed it.
It starts off with like her talking sometimes, and then this beat comes in, and oddly enough, it sounds a little gospel. I like the mix of the R&B, the hip hop, and the gospel in there. And you wouldn't think all three genres really work together, but they do on this record. Her bars were fine. Her voice sounded amazing, and I like the rap that comes in when the beat really gets going. So overall, it was stuck in my head the most. So it's definitely my top pick. What do you think about the song?
I think that it has probably one of the most interesting song titles I've seen in a while, because I was just stuck thinking, what the hell does that even mean? Hey. And to be honest, even after listening to the song, I'm like, what was the message here again? Because I'm like,
hey, she wants some God, some love, a lot of sex, and some drugs. That's exactly what the message of the song was.
Sure, but I don't know. It's kind of weird in the real world to make all those things have like good synergy. But you know what? I guess that's what the song is trying to like dive into, And I guess I can't even complain with that, because this song was pretty good. Sure, her performance here was pretty nice. I think one of my favorite parts too was the outro, where she's just like on this weird rant. And guys, you have to listen. I'm not
funniest shit.
It's one of the funniest outros to a song I've ever heard, like along the lines of like Eminem doing some weird shit on the end of his songs back in the day.
Is this the one where she's like, "Oh, yeah, you little dick having nigga," or something like that?
Weak stroke, something. I'm like, okay.
Yo, she goes in. Whoever this guy is.
It was this song. Don't quote me on it, but I believe it was this song.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that was probably one of the funniest outros to a song I've ever heard. Like, I think the song was an interesting ride all the way through. From the moment you read the title to the moment you're done with the song, which is not something I can say about every song. So I'm like, you know what? If for shock factor and like longevity alone, I agree. This is a pretty dope song for the entire album.
All right, I gotta guess your number one now, right? Okay, I'm gonna get it wrong because. I'm trying to figure out the beginning. All right, I'm gonna go with "Crazy Like You."
Nope. I actually already told you what my number one was. I thought we'd have to say number one because we had to say number two. That's why I guessed it.
Alert?
Yeah.
Really?
Alert's my favorite one.
It's a good start.
And here's why. It's such a simple beat that like I think her like as far as like the first half of the album having mostly hip hop in it. I think this is probably my favorite hip hop track on this album.
Yeah, straight rapping.
Because it was just pretty much her in full rap mode, which is kind of what I thought was going to set the pace for the album, which sure the hell wasn't, but that's technically a good thing, because I believe that this was a pretty good first impression for me, and it stuck with me really, really hard. Because like, the beat was just like pretty much like a simple ass like beep going on in the background, and her lyrics were just like tough, like old school female from like New York type tough. Because like a lot of these were meant to hurt feelings, like she's battle rapping. And I'm like, that's pretty good. I don't know who this K Michelle is, but she's doing pretty good. Like I said, I know her by name, and I might have heard her in passing or something like that, but I've never dived into her music. So like this being like the first thing I've gone through in total from her, and I was like, wow, that kind of just set the bar for me. So I'm kind of obligated to go through some of her other stuff now just to see what I've been missing. But yeah, so far on this album, this has been my number one.
You know what's funny about Alert? You said her bars were really good. I thought her bars were okay, but because the way she rapped, they sounded 10 times better.
See, my thing is, when I say the bars okay, I mean, like, are good. I mean, like, because her intensity behind it. That's why I said the whole battle rapping thing. Cause like, we were talking about recently about Remy Ma, like sounding aggressive on her tracks and all that. I'm not saying she's on that level, But I'm saying like it's the same vibe I got from that, the same vibe I got from K Michelle with Alert.
Yeah, she on that song she was very aggressive. Yeah, she was. I thought the intro was fun, and she also rants at the end of this song too, and it's funny as hell.
She has very interesting outros to a lot of her hip hop tracks on this album.
I know, and the funny thing is, since this is the first album by K Michelle that I listened to, I didn't know she rapped. So when she started rapping, I was like, "Whoa! I thought you were an R&B singer. Like, what happened here?" I thought
so too.
But I liked it, so I agree with Alert. Alert was pretty good. It used to be in my top 3, and then I like some other songs. All right, so let's start with "Crazy Like You." Actually, no. Nah, we'll get to it. I'll make a mention of it later. "Crazy Like You." First of all, I don't ever want to be with a man who makes me that crazy, because she was talking about like hurting this man and killing herself. He made her so crazy she was gonna kill herself or something like that. And I was like, nah, bruh, it shouldn't be worth. But her rap in this song, really good, better than Alert. And I was like, all right, we getting it. The beat was really good as well, and it's funny as hell. The song is hilarious, and even though it's a little bit of a vengeful song, I'm okay with it. Because it was weird. She's like, yo, this guy makes me so crazy, but I hate this nigga. And so that's basically what the song was about. I was like, okay, I feel you. And I like that. So what did you think of "Crazy Like You"?
I mean, I hope there's nobody out there making some girl or guy this crazy. Because if you go through this song and you find out what she went through, get help.
Find yourself someone else.
For real. Like, get help or get out. Because this ain't right. I know that there's lost a lot of. I wanted to say it was salt, but it's like it's not even salt at this point. It's really just like, yo, you just lost your marbles now. Because it sounded like she was sour about everything that you've been put through, which is kind of fair if you listen to the story here. But it's like there's other options. You don't want to like be doing this whole threatening your life thing. And one thing I definitely want to say about the song before I forget to do it too, Shanique touched on it a little bit, but like there was like a rap switch up towards the end. I thought it was so dope. I'm not going to say what Shanique said and say it was better than Alert because, you know, that's obviously my favorite. But it was, like, dope as hell. Because I feel like it's weird, too. Like, that kind of aggressiveness that she had in the first part of the song kind of made sense for it to be, like, a rap at the end. So I feel like that transition works very well for the song. And I'm like, you know what? That kind of drew me even more. Like I said, this girl's good at outros. So, yeah.
All right. Next song, Kim K. Now, I'm iff about this track because I'm not sure what to feel. Like, I understand, like, she talks about, oh, I wish I could be like Kim K and be black. Which basically means, from her opinion, Kim Kardashian gets away with doing all the stuff that black people do, and it seems like stylish and like, you know, like not ghetto. But if she does it, if a black woman does it, then it seems like ghetto, or like she talks about the braids and all this stuff. She also mentions Black China a little bit. And I'm like, okay. But I admit when she said, oh, I wish I could be like Kim K and be black, I did the slow head turn like,
hold up.
What?
Right, exactly.
But it took me a while to understand what she was saying. She's basically saying that like Kim K can get away with doing quote unquote black things and still be considered classy, elegant. While if she did it, no, it wouldn't work. I understand the song. I'm not sure if this should have been a song, but it was interesting. But it's not like one of my favorites on the album. What do you think of Kim K?
See, I have a lot of. I'm gonna keep my review for this one short because I've literally felt the exact same way you did. It's not my favorite song on the album. It's probably my first place where I'm like, all right, I gotta pump the brakes on this because this is just like, you know, blah to me. But it's right. It was talking about some things about Kim Kardashian getting away with like X, Y, and Z. Talking about like, you know, the fakeness that she can get away with and like, you know, pulling it off as natural or whatever. And I'm like, you know, okay, fair. It's actually like, you know, using some actual content for the song, which is completely fair. No complaints with that. I think my complaint is with the delivery of everything. I don't know. Like, subject matter, yes. Delivery and execution could have used some work. And I feel like that's the only really thing I got to complain about. But that being said, that's not like a deal breaker for the album by any means.
All right.
It's just still a lot of good stuff coming later on. So yeah.
Okay. Next one, Rounds. Sus ass lyrics in this. The best part for me for Rounds is the chorus. I love the chorus in this song. The song's basically about a man hitting it right. It's basically the whole point of the song. She's like, "Oh, he's hitting it right. I can go for rounds. Good job, I guess. Hopefully, he's not the guy from Crazy Like You. Hopefully, it's someone else."
Maybe that's why she went crazy.
So wait, he hit it so right she went crazy? That should not be what happened.
Maybe she got attached. Hey, listen, there's like I forgot what TV show it was. Like this girl got it so good that she started going crazy. Like, yo, I'm like going full psycho mode at this point. You can't go outside. Ain't nobody else gonna be hitting it like that. Like, it's just like, fluffing him up to make him look real good and stroke his ego. And all of a sudden you go crazy because like, yo, I need to be the only one who can get this. Anyways, we're making up our own narrative here. So. And by we, I mean me. So.
I'm about to say, don't lump me in.
Yes, we're a team. It's a team effort. It's a team effort podcast. That's what we do here. Echo Underground
podcast. All right, go.
Oh, but I don't know. That was pretty much it. I mean, Rounds is all right. It's some definitely some spicier lyrics in this one on the dirty side, but it's not bad compared to something I believe coming up. So yeah, it's actually not a bad song. I didn't hate the song at all, to be honest.
I didn't hate it either.
So yeah.
All right, next song. Birthday. It's your birthday. Tell me what you want to do. Actually, this was my honorable mention, surprisingly. I just love the way she sang on this. It was very smooth. I love the beat. The only thing is, this is another song where she's sharing her man.
Starting to see a pattern here.
And I'm just not about that. I like her rap. But, nah, bruh. She's like, oh, it's your birthday, so, I'm gonna bring some bitches. They coming through. Mm-hmm. Like, I think she rhymed those two lyrics or something like that. And I'm like, okay, but why there always gotta be other women coming through? I don't understand that part. But I'm just not into it. But she also raps pretty fast at one part of the song, which made me go, whoa. Mm-hmm. It was really good. What do you think of Birthday?
Yeah, first thing I want to talk about is that tempo change about that with that rap was hella dope. Cause she went from like like a consistently medium tempo to like just going fast forward on like triple speed, and I was okay with it because she was handling it. The lyrics that are coming out were pretty good, and this is one of those things where it's like the content's not bad. It's like not my favorite, but it's like execution here was fine for me. Damn near excellent. So yeah, I was okay with that. And one thing I just wanted to say too: why is it every time in rap and hip hop, when the subject of somebody's birthday come up, this is what ends up happening? It's like, yo, I want a big booty. I want a big booty hoe. I want some bitches. I want some hoes. I want some like don't get me wrong. I'm not I'm not super opposed to like that in like the right context. I just realized rap and hip hop loves using birthdays for that, and I'm like, why didn't I figure this out before? It's literally been everywhere with think about one birthday song in hip hop that isn't about this song right here, pretty much.
Well, yeah, I mean, they basically about the same thing without the threesome.
Yeah, pretty much.
Basically the same thing without the threesomes. But
yeah, that's what I have to say about that one, though. It was a dope song.
Yeah. Next song, Michael's favorite song.
Oh yeah.
Fuck Your Man, interlude. Yeah. Now, at first we weren't gonna do it, but then it turned to a real song. So it's like, all right, we're gonna review it. Classiest singing you ever heard. Jazzy feel. Trashiest lyrics I ever heard.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yo. Okay, so she's like singing this song. She basically says, I should fuck your man, but like in the classiest way. And then when you finally understand the song, it's basically like, oh, I should fuck your man, but I'm too good for him, and fuck you too. And that's basically what the song is in a nutshell. Right. But I like her voice. It was a very good showing for her voice, but what the hell was this song? Michael?
My thing is, I love weird contrasts, and I feel conflicted because it's like the two things going on at the same time here about what Shanika said, like the classy singing versus the trashy lyrics. I was like, damn, I kind of like it, But the title kind of lied to me because when it said "fuck your man," I thought it meant like somebody else's man was acting up and trying to step in on me. So I'm like, fuck him. Like, listen, forget about him. Not fuck him as in I'm going to fuck him as a threat. Like, like that was the shadiest, most threatening thing I've ever heard someone say on a song. And I'm pretty sure it's been said before, just never this like professional sounding. Because like she brought out the best in her singing, some of the best in her singing, to like make sure that someone got the message that I could fuck your man and hit these notes at the same time. That's somebody you need to be afraid of, yo.
All right. Next song. No, Not You. This is like the first ballad we hear. Mm-hmm. Well, unless you count "Fuck Your Man." Okay, this is the first ballad we hear.
I'm about to say, let's just call it a ballad.
It's very solid. I liked her voice, but overall the song didn't like blow me away. But what do you think of No, Not You?
No, Not You was actually some of my favorite singing on this album.
Yeah, agreed.
And here's my problem what I had though, and it's technically a good problem. We were listening to the singing in order from 1 to 20. So I put on my notes some of my favorite singing on the album. Later on, I put it 3 more times, and I'm like, shit, I don't know. They're all my favorite singing on the album. I don't think she had like one the one where she's trying to like show off her voice. I don't think she did very she never did a bad job with any of those songs right there. Like granted, some of them weren't like super exceptional, nothing like that. They just all were solid songs, and I'm like, damn girl, go fuck ahead with your bad self. I was okay with that, and No, Not You was definitely a good example. Because I feel like right here, especially after coming after "Fuck Your Man," I was like, you can't switch up on me like that. You don't get to go from saying all this shit and then hit me with all this beautiful music. I was just conflicted, but I was okay though, because this was definitely, like Shani said, it's some of the best singing on the album. Definitely my opinion as well, and definitely well earned. All
right, next song, "Giving Up on Love." I like the beat. I love the overall feel of the song. This is another ballad. Her singing was really on point. And the notes at the end of the song, good job. She did amazing. And it was one of my personal favorites. What about you?
See, when we reached this part of the album, I realized, oh man, we're starting to get into that that not so much rap zone. And I was at one point, I wandered back. Then I realized, hold up. She's handling it consistently so far with her voice, So I was like, that's fine. Tell you what, I dare you do it one more time. And she did do it again, and for the rest of the album. But pretty much like she handled it pretty well. Like, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I know like the last half definitely has less rap, more singing. The first half is obviously the opposite.
Yeah,
and I feel like they're both solid on their own. So yeah, that probably says a lot about her. No, Not You is definitely no exception to that rule as well.
Okay. Next song, "Run Don't Walk." I actually really love "Run Don't Walk." One, the song it's very inspirational. Has a really good message. Just like, you know what? Life's too short. So go get this person, be with this person, live your life, do your thing. It's probably one of the more positive messages of the song, of this album, definitely. I should say. And it's really good singing, and she did her thing on it, so I really enjoyed it. What do you think of "Run Don't Walk"?
"Run Don't Walk," I feel the same sentiments. It's crazy, like it's such a sweet song, and it's like, it's very positive, like Shanique said. And one thing this album does very good with me, and this is not a complaint by any means, but it's like, it makes me confused, because it's like, yo, this first half was like, you talking shit, and like, you going crazy, you saying you gonna fuck someone else's man, you doing X, Y, and Z, God, sex, loves, and drugs. What's going on here? Then this song hits, I'm like, I don't know, maybe there's 2 K Michelles we're listening to here, or something like that. And K Michelle number 2, who is doing all the singing right now, is definitely handling her business by, definitely putting such like a positive thing on the album. Because like the first half is like, pretty interesting. I don't know. This is like 2 different albums for this one. Now that I'm talking about it out loud, I'm like, this is definitely like 2 albums. especially since people are coming out with like 10-song albums nowadays. You may as well call it that. One of them showing off her hip hop side, and one of them definitely showing off her pipes. And I'm okay with her pipes right now, yo.
See, this is how I thought of the album. I thought the first half was like, man, I'm going through all this crap.
Yeah, you're going through some shit.
And the second half is like, I made it through.
Right. Good job.
So that's how I thought of the album.
I kind of like that. Okay.
Hey, thank you. All right. So next one is Talk to God. Talk to God is basically she feeling herself.
Yeah, she a little cocky in this one.
She said, you know what? I'm perfect. You got to talk to God about that.
Yeah.
That's basically the song.
Right.
And it's cocky, but I really love this song. And also, it's very upbeat. Compared to Run, Don't Walk in Heaven and the other ballads that came before it. So,
right.
Yeah, that's what I thought of it. What do you think of?
Talk to God was pretty good. It's pretty much explaining, like, you know, why she's fly, why she's got all her successes. And, you know, it was pretty good. And even though this song was mostly singing, I think this was one of the first ones that showed, like, the returning of, like, of the rapping going on. Like, it definitely took a backseat to the singing, which I agree, you know, it was fine. She's doing such a consistently good job with it that I didn't really care that the rapping kind of took a backseat in this one. I kind of did like knowing that rapping wasn't absolutely done with the album just yet at this point. But it's like I was already such in the mode where I wanted to hear her sing that I didn't mind it taking the back seat. And I sing a lot because that's not really something I usually say too often. But Talk to God definitely showed that off. And I was definitely okay. This is actually one of my runners for number 3. Yeah, in front of Heaven. But I don't know. Heaven beat about by just a little bit. And I could say the same for the next song.
Yeah. Brain on Love. Now, vocals, very good vocal performance on this record. And you know what? She finally has a good man.
It's all a story, guys. See? It's all a story.
And for me, it's probably like if I had to pick another honorable mention, this would probably be it.
I agree.
Okay, what do you think of Brain on Love?
I love the singing on this song. Like, it didn't bring me in all the way as Heaven did, but one thing I can definitely say as far as high notes go, these are my favorite high notes on the entire album. And I feel, like, impressed that she saved it for last. Because, like, they're definitely worth saving until the very last second. But, damn. When you guys go through the album, let me know what you guys think. Because, like, I really feel like she pretty much did something that if I tried to replicate, I'd probably start spitting up blood, and I know my limits. So that's why I got respect for K. Michelle on this one, yo. Good job.
Okay. Final song of the album, Woman of My Word. Very soulful singing. And this song, she's just saying, hey, I'm a strong woman. Love the choir, and I thought it was a perfect way to close the album. What do you think of Woman of My Word?
Yeah, I thought she put a lot of a decent amount of production into this one, or not maybe not she, but someone did. I thought that she did a lot of production into this one for the sole sake of it being the last album song on the album, and I feel like as far as closes go, this is kind of what I kind of like to see. Like, just throw everything into like a pot and mix it together and make it work. Like sometimes it's happened before and didn't work. If you listen to our NERD podcast, that's kind of where they went wrong with that. But for this one, I feel like it's kind of a pretty good example of you're putting, everything in your arsenal into closing up a very good album. And, hopefully making you curious as to her next coming one or her past albums or something like that. So on that note, going through this album was actually pretty good.
Michael went right into his closing remarks.
Oh, yeah, sure.
But yeah, overall, I agree with him. This is a very good album to listen to, and I would definitely suggest listening to it and discovering K. Michelle. She's a really good artist. What about you? That's it?
Yep.
All right.
That's all we got.
Fine. Guys, let us know what you think of this album. Do you think we were tripping, or do you agree with us? Do you like K. Michelle? We want to know. So you can tweet us at Echo U Podcast on Twitter. You can also find us on Facebook, iTunes, SoundCloud, and all other podcasting apps at Echo Underground Podcast. And if you want, you can email us at echoundergroundpodcast@gmail.com. We do read the comments and check all those things, so we will see your comment suggestions and share us so other people can get to know our podcast. And we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye-bye.